Hey everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Dr. Carmen Bryan. This is Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Thank you guys to all the new followers for joining me and finding something valuable that I have to say concerning narcissist abuse or narcissist abuse recovery. Thank you guys for following me. Thank you for hanging in there with me. You know, some of you guys are healing quite nicely, and I am so honored that you would share your stories of your healing and your progress with me. I'm so thankful. And so today I wanted to address a question that was asked in reference to, I think the question was, let me think. The question was, is the narcissist addicted to, because we talk about addiction a lot. So we talk about the fact that people are addicted to the narcissist. The narcissist is actually has become your drug. And so the question became, well, is it possible the narcissist is addicted to the source of supply? The answer is no. They're not addicted to the source supply, they're addicted to the fuel. And so if you think of any kind of drug addict or drug addictions, you know that the person is not addicted to the drug dealer, they're addicted to the drug that is being sold or the drug that they are trying to get, you know. And the more drug that they get, the more the more levels they need in their system in order to attain the high that they had before. And it gets to a point where there's copious amounts of drug in their system in order to achieve the high that they first experienced. That's why a lot of people, when they go to drug rehab and they relapse, the drug is out of their system, but they are accustomed to the amount of drugs that they took before. So a lot of them, when they relapse and they go back to the same amount of drugs that they were taking before, ends up killing them, and they end up overdosing because their system doesn't have drugs and it shocked the system. Well, the narcissist is addicted to the fuel. What is fuel? Fuel is anything that affirms or helps the narcissist maintain their sense of superiority, their grandiosity, their feelings of control. The fuel is the reaction that you give them, whether it's positive or negative reaction. It is fuel to make them feel empowered. Like, I'm the one that caused you to do that. I'm the one that caused you to cry. I'm the one that causes you to laugh. I'm the one that causes these emotional reactions that you give me. It's the emotional reaction that you give the narcissist that causes him or her to feel empowered. And so many of you guys are feeding fuel to the narcissist, and that's why I say you have to gray rock. You know, you have to be careful at what you say and what you do that fuels that narcissist. Now, keep in mind that they're constantly wanting fuel. So even when you go no contact, or for those of you that have children that have to have limited contact, you do have to have some type of contact because you have children, excuse me, you guys, but you guys have children by the narcissist, meaning that you can't go completely 100% no contact because you have to maintain some type of contact on behalf of the children, you know, changing the kids, you know, going to get the kids back and forth, or exchanging the kids, or asking for this or needing this, you know. So the contact is limited, but regardless, they get fuel from any kind of contact. So some of you guys are like, how can I stop it altogether? See, the problem is not you, the problem is them. They're the ones, and it doesn't matter the more fuel. That's why they move from source supplies to sources of supply, because once they've depleted one source, you know, the copious amounts of fuel that they need cannot sustain them. And let's say, for example, let's think about a band or a singer or artist or an actor that you really would love to meet, or you know, that you find beautiful, or, you know, oh my gosh, I would love to meet this individual. Is it Idris Elba, or Elba Idris, or Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, Halle Berry, Beyonce. You know, let's think of some other people that are movie stars. Some of you guys like Sean Connery, you know. What about the guy, his name is Craig something, that played 007? You know, each person has their own flavor, right? Now, let's say, you know, they perform, you know, you see them on magazines, people swoon over them, you know, oh my gosh, you know, that is what that narcissist is looking for. I've read somewhere somewhere where an artist was saying that they feel so energized, even when they're tired, they feel so energized and excited because the crowds are going crazy before they come out in concert, and they're the ones that are going on the stage, and they're the ones that's able to make people scream and swoon and fall. That is what the narcissist is looking for. And so they'll connect with stars or people that get this type of reaction, and they literally want to take over their life because what they want is the reaction from the people that they're getting. And so this is why they'll either take over and take the credit for what they're doing. They try to mimic or mirror what the person is doing in order, because they want the reaction that the person is getting. That's why some narcissists, believe it or not, it's like, remember when the kids were little, they used to watch television, and I say it again, you guys know, you remember the Wonder Woman and Superman and Super Twin Power, and you remember that, and we were laughing about the fact, I thought I was Wonder Woman too. I used to turn around in a circle, but my spinner was broken, so I just could never actually get the spin right to turn into Wonder Woman, but it was just the fact that you were watching television, and kids go out and they act out these characters and create their storylines. Well, the narcissist does the same thing. They watch how people react. This is empowerment, and sometimes watching the lifestyles of the rich and the famous, or they watch these $1 million homes, or they watch these people on television, and they literally, as old as some of them are, you got people in their 40s and 50s, you'd be surprised, in their 60s, that mimic or copy what they see on television. They take that term, fake it till you make it, and they go to the extent with it. The costume jewelry and pretending it's real jewelry, or the fake Rolex watches, or this type of car that they cannot afford in the first place. Kids starving, wife, jacked up, but they're riding around on this expensive car, living in these expensive houses, and 9 times out of 10, they have other sources of supply to be able to feed them, either money or other things to make them feel empowered, make them feel like a superstar. They're appalled at the fact that you don't see them as a superstar. They get out the car like they're a superstar. They walk into buildings and look at people, and people looking like, how's this person walking around with that much confidence? Who is this? But it's just that reaction that has provided them with fuel, with empowerment. They feel empowered. They feel over lovely. Like our British brother says, they feel lovely. But that is that sense of, who doesn't like a nice compliment? You get your hair done, you get your nails did, but you go out and people compliment you, you feel good about yourself, like, wow, I feel good. Now take that and multiply it times 1,000 or 100,000. That is that feeling, and it doesn't last very long. Like certain highs from drugs doesn't last very long, short-lived. And so they constantly are on a hunt for that high. They're constantly on a hunt for that type of fuel. And so it just, from one supply to the next supply. So this supply, provided them with this amount of fuel. They've been depleted because they need so much. They suck these individuals dry to a point where they get to the next, person with fuel, someone that may be seen, someone that is on the stage, someone that is popular within the community, and they need that type of supply, that type of money, that type of, because I need to connect with you, and I need to make people believe that it was me that made you what you are. And then they suck that one dry. See, and they're never satisfied. That's why they're never with one individual, whether they're a cerebral narcissist that just needs thought fuel or mind fuel, or whether they're a somatic and cerebral narcissist that needs sexual gratification, that needs, that needs to be seen, that needs, to feel what they're, to be something that they're not. You see those guys coming into the clubs, they're like 100 years old, and they're still trying to, talk to the young women, and the young girls are looking at, why is Pops in here? Why won't he leave the club? You too old to be in this young club. Go find you somewhere else, like the Elks Lodge or somewhere else to go. Those are the time. I'm not saying all of them are narcissists, but I'm saying this is what you'll find. You'll find those that are in their 50s and 60s, and they're doing what the young kids are doing. They're sagging, or, they've picked up on their lingo, because they, oh my gosh, your dad is, or your mom is so cool, or, they need that fuel. So they're not addicted to the source where the fuel comes from, They're addicted to the fuel and they need it at all costs in order to survive. A narcissist without fuel, these are people that will have a psychotic episode, a psychiatric break, because they're not getting fuel. Now, for those of you that are recovering, and those of you that really have no feeling for the narcissist anymore, you have no connection with them, it doesn't matter. I think somebody asked me, what does it mean when I say they can lick a window and you could care less? A narcissist depends on your reaction. And so to lick a window will cause you to look at them and say, ew, you're nasty, or it causes a reaction from you. And when I use the term and I say to my foreign brothers and sisters, when I say lick a window, you would normally respond or react to that. Like, ew, that's gross, get away from this. So they're getting fuel from you when they do it. But when they get to the point where they can lick a window and you just look at them, turn around and pay no attention to them, they're not getting any fuel out of it. It won't matter to you. And so those of you that are recovering, that are truly recovering, and is getting to a point where they don't matter whatsoever, there's nothing they can do to cause you to react, and it doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter whether you look and say, hey, good morning, how are you? And you keep going, you've given them fuel, but to you, it won't matter anymore. So some of you guys are like, how do I shut it off altogether? You work on you. You have to work on you. And once you get to a point where it doesn't matter anymore, it doesn't matter what kind of fuel they get. You know, you look in their direction, they get fuel. You get angry or excuse me, you know, that's fuel, anything, you know, but that is what fuel is. And to answer that question, no, they're not addicted to people. They're addicted to the fuel. And so it doesn't matter because they change for each new source of supply. So hopefully that answered your question. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for your support and all the emails and the messages on here. Whenever I get a chance, I read them. If you don't write a book, if you're writing a book, I can't read everything that you're writing because the letters are like microscopic in the first place, and then I don't have that much time to read that much information. And so thank you guys once again for joining me. If you have not already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Hit the bell so you know whenever I upload videos Tuesday through Friday. Sometimes when I come in on Tuesday, I'm a little overbooked. And so sometimes I can't get to the camera like I want to because I have a lot going on because I'm just coming in from over the weekend. So I appreciate your patience. I appreciate you guys, you know, and you guys still wait for me. And I thank you. I'm so honored. So I try to stay very consistent because I know a lot of you are waiting for me to come on. And so please subscribe. And also, for those of you that have a lot of questions concerning the spiritual or the biblical aspect of narcissism, please go to my mentors page. It is Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper. And whenever she comes on live, and she's just coming, she's traveling back and forth through the countries. She just came back from Africa. She's on her way to London. And so she is world renowned. And so a lot of times when you catch her live, that's a privilege. So ask her whatever questions you want to concerning the biblical aspect. A lot of you have questions concerning, you know, being in the church, being a Christian and being married and divorcing and the biblical information that you need from that. She is a walking wealth of information, and she is the presiding prelate of Into His Chambers Global Ministry. So if you are in the Seattle area, please come and visit. That is where we are located, and I'm her spiritual daughter, so that's my mom's. So you guys, make sure you guys go and support her. Facebook, I also have Overcoming Narcissist Abuse, which is my book, and then my professional Facebook page, which is Psychological Health Consultants and Services. Hit the thumbs up. I post on those. I also have other social media. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm not a millennial, so you know I look young, but I'm really not that young. And so I do have Instagram, and so I'm still trying to maneuver through Instagram, which is Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. I have Twitter, which is Dr. Carmen Bryant 1. You guys are welcome to follow me. You know, I try to, you know, share tweets from people, inspirational tweets. And so also my book. So if you have not ordered the book, it is Unmasking the Illusion of Perfection. It is in Barnes & Noble and Amazon. You're welcome to purchase ebook or Kindle, or you can get the, you know, the copy in your hand. Thank you guys so much for your support. Share it with your teenagers, because a lot of those young people are going through this already. And when you know, you're proactive and you teach them about it, you can spare them from some of the things that we've been through because they have the information. A lot of them are young and they're still advocates, you know, so they're, you know, they'll educate too, you know, so educate them, teach them. And so also, you know, the book, it is a Christian book. It provides you with Christian inspiration. So I know a lot of my family here on YouTube, a lot of you are not believers or not are Christians, but take the principles out of it. These are real stories by real people. Names have been changed, but real people that have been through narcissist abuse and what it looks like, because we talk about it all the time, but what does it actually look like played out? You know, these are stories from people that have been abused by their parents, and their children have been abused. They were business people. They were in the business arena. You know, they were in jobs or in careers that were, you know, just, I mean, very high positions, and they were embarrassed and shamed about it, how they were groomed, and they ended up back into these relationships and what they were thinking. So I do provide Christian, you know, biblical support and encouragement. However, take the principles out of the book. And some of my family here on YouTube said that, you know, even though they're not Christian, they got something very valuable out of it. And I'm so appreciative. Thank you so much. So now I'm getting ready to go. And of course, as I always say, on Sundays, tune in on Sundays. I'm usually live between the hours of 8 and 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which is the West Coast time. Now, we do have a guest that's going to be here, so I'm not sure if I'm able to get out early enough to get on camera. If I don't, I'm going to leave you guys a message and let you know. But thank you guys so much for your support. You guys really make it happen, and I'm so grateful that these videos are helping you. So as I always say, go and be great.